Well, hello there, and welcome to a new form of video that I'm going to do, in which you'll be able to see me in person. Hello. I'm sorry about the long wait. I think it's been 6 months. It's just I haven't been motivated to do videos. I've been stressed due to the pandemic and stuff. But I'm back. I'm hoping to do other videos, but this is not movies this time, because I'm a wrestling fan, and so I thought I would put my predictions out for the upcoming Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And here we go. Right, so the first match according to Wikipedia, says it is Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. So, Drew is the champion at the moment. And he retained against Goldberg at Royal Rumble, so he's had this big win. I don't think they're going to give the championship to anyone else but Drew McIntyre, because he's had a really good run so far, and I think if you can have him have the championship when they can bring fans back in, it will be a much better, because Raw hasn't been very good lately, but Drew is still a good champion, and so we need him to have the championship when fans can get in, so they can understand how good he is, because he's been champion all through the lockdown era, since last WrestleMania. Well, he did lose it against Randy Orton, but that was like 2 weeks, but it's fine. The only other option, which I'm slightly considering, is that Randy Orton wins, and it'll be him versus Edge at Mania, because Edge won the Rumble. Edge will then beat Randy, and Edge will be champion. That could happen. And then you have maybe Drew versus Sheamus in a non-title match, because their feud, they haven't had their one-on-one feud at a pay-per-view yet. And I think the story's gone on enough that it would be a good story at Mania if it was Drew versus Sheamus non-title. But I feel like they're going to keep Drew with the title and maybe have like Drew maybe versus Keith Lee, or Drew versus Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, which is apparently what Bobby Lashley wants. He wants that title match at Mania. I think the person who has the least chance of winning is Jeff Hardy, because he's good, he's just, I don't think he's championship level yet. He was back in the day, and he is a big name, but, and, well, all of the people in here are past champions, so they obviously know what it is to be a champion, which is good. But I think Drew will beat the rest of them. The final two will probably be Sheamus versus Drew, and then it'll look like Sheamus is going to win, and then Drew, Claymore, 1, 2, 3, Drew is the champion. And then you could have Drew versus Sheamus at Mania for the title. Sheamus wins, perhaps. Anyway, I'm getting a bit too focused on that match, so let's get focused on to the next match, which is Asuka versus Lacey Evans with Ric Flair in Lacey Evans' corner. And this is for the Raw Women's Championship. Right. Asuka has been Raw Women's Champion since probably just after Money in the Bank, because that's when Becky went off pregnant, so Asuka got the title. She's had it ever since. She hasn't really had that many big title things. Like, she had the one at SummerSlam against Sasha. And then you had What else did you have? This is my thing. I do forget things. That proves that they weren't very significant as well. She had one against Zelina Vega, I think, at Clash of Champions, and she's gone now. I think she had one against one of the Riot Squad at a pay-per-view. And then she joined up with Charlotte and had that thing over the tag championships with Nia and Shayna. But she's never really had her chance to have a big pay-per-view thing against a Raw, like against someone at a pay-per-view. And this match, I think, will only set to further Lacey versus Charlotte. Because that's the whole story, is that Lacey's stolen Charlotte's dad. Lacey's pregnant with Charlotte, with the dad's baby, but they've kind of tarnished the legacy of it slightly. Yeah. Match 4 is... this is the second Elimination Chamber match. This one's more important, I'd argue, because it's Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens versus King Corbin versus Sami Zayn versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. Now, this match is important because none of these is the champion, but whoever wins this will go on to face the Universal Champion in the next match. Because originally, like, Roman Reigns, who's the Universal Champion, he was going to be in the match, but on a SmackDown he said, no, I don't need to go in the chamber because I will win. So, I'll let you all fight over who gets to fight me, because he feels overprivileged. He thinks he deserves this praise. And this is the best thing that Roman Reigns has done in his entire career, I would argue. And I think for this match, Daniel Bryan, I think we'll get Roman Bryan maybe at Mania. Or we'll get Roman Edge at Mania. Yeah, we'll get Roman Edge at Mania. Because Edge, I feel like they'll do spear versus spear. And also, in a podcast, Edge was asked, who would you like to face? And his first answer was Roman Reigns. And I think they will capitalise on that. Yes, Edge has gone to NXT, wants to fight Balor. Gone to Raw, has said, oh, Drew, I could face you. But I think what would be nice is if Daniel Bryan won here, and then he loses Daniel Bryan should win this, and then lose the match later, the last match. So then it's Roman Bryan as the last match, the fifth match, and Roman wins by using Jey Uso, who maybe has become a bit contentious, because if he won that, they could do that actually. Because if Jey won the match, that would have an interesting story, because Jey is like a bodyguard, or like part of Roman's family. Well, he's his cousin, but in kayfabe terms, he is he's the one who fights for Roman. And if Jey won the chamber, and you have Jey versus Roman, you could have an interesting thing where Roman says, right, Jey, you know I want to be the champion. I don't want you to be the champion. Lay down for me. I'll pin you. I'll win. Jey reluctantly, originally he says no, and then Roman kind of gets angry at him, and then Jey goes, okay then, lays down, Roman wins. They could do that, but I feel like I feel like that'll happen either way, like Roman will squash whoever, because the other person will be a bit battered. And Daniel Bryan is good at bumping. You're bumping as in, able to show pain in his face and his body expressions. He's very good at that. And I think it's everyone wanted Bryan Roman at the Rumble, or they wanted Bryan to win the Rumble. Bryan faces Roman at Mania, but that didn't happen. So it'd be nice to have that glimmer of something here, and then maybe we get something either at Mania or we get something a bit later on, which is Daniel versus Roman, or Daniel versus Edge, which would be nicer. But Cesaro, I feel like if Cesaro won, that'd be a lovely match. Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. But again, Roman Reigns would still win. I think with whoever wins this, Roman is still going to win, because they'd want Roman to go into Mania as champion. They wouldn't want them to ruin what they've done. But then they've ruined other people. They ruined The Fiend with Goldberg. They ruined Kevin Owens with Goldberg again. It seems that they seem to ruin people right when they're getting good. When they've got a championship, they've had it for a bit, and then all of a sudden they just decide, now, we want this person to win. But they've never really trusted, quite a lot of the people in here, they've never really trusted to be good champion. Like King Corbin, they've always kind of, for some reason, liked. But yeah. And I think, also, in the first match, again, going back to that one, I've just remembered that in regards to The Fiend, people are thinking that because Kofi was added last minute, Kofi could either be replaced by Mustafa Ali because he's in a feud with him, or Kofi gets attacked by The Fiend goes in, and The Fiend wins the championship, and then it's Fiend Drew at Mania. Or it's Fiend Orton at Mania. Fiend Orton Drew at Mania, which would be nice. But people also think that The Fiend could replace Orton, because Orton's had this weird, rivalry with him. He could get attacked, and The Fiend comes in and wins, because Alexa Bliss has kind of satanically tried to bring him back this week on Raw, which was odd, but okay. I think that's it for the matches. Well, the card is subject to change, so other things could be added, but I doubt it, because they haven't had any feuds. Because Sasha, unless they do a rematch, Carmella versus Sasha, but we've seen that already, so I doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, I think that was it. I hope you enjoyed, because this is a different thing. This is not what I originally intended to do, all the way back when I started this, but I think it's a nice change. I will do movie reviews. I probably may do one tomorrow, but I will no longer have a schedule, because last time I said I had a schedule, there was 6 months. But thank you for watching. If you're a fan of wrestling, you'll have to wait for the next one, which will probably be Mania. No, Fastlane, probably, but yeah. I'm not sure how long away Fastlane is, but I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe if you want to. I mean, I'm not bothered if you're not, because this was originally a film thing. You may get annoyed and unsubscribe, but that's fine. I'm not bothered. I just do this because I enjoy it. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.